So I decided I wanted to show you guys some more like behind the scenes, versions of me living here in Thailand, what my life like really looks like on a day-to-day basis. So, hey, here we are. I am Melanated Travel Bae, also known as Coach Jair, and clean with me. So we're gonna clean, we're gonna chat, we're gonna talk, just to give you guys like a little bit of backstory about me, about what I do, about who I am. I realized I came on here and I just started posting videos, which is fine and dandy, but I think that my vacation version of myself is a little bit different than my just regular everyday version of myself, right? As you can see, I like being comfortable in my house. I have inside the house clothes and I have outside the house clothes, right? So if I'm gonna be in my house, I'm gonna be comfortable. So as you can see, we're just cleaning. So we got on our little inside the house clothes. But I just wanted to, share a little bit more about me. I'm not gonna talk the whole time. There are gonna be times where we're gonna take like little dance breaks because I am listening to music in these videos. But I just want to tell y'all where I come from, which is California. I actually moved. If you take a look back at my old TikTok videos, my old Instagram posts, I am a California baddie. I come from San Diego, California. I was there for about 10 years before I moved from the East Coast. I'm a graduate of Old Dominion University. Okay, ODU, woo, woo, woo. And then once I graduated, I moved to San Diego, and I was there until I moved to Thailand. So Thailand was a big move for me, but it technically wasn't my first big move. Me moving from the East Coast to California was my first big move, and then Thailand was a second, even bigger move. So, yeah. That's how I got here. I initially came back in August of last year, so it's almost been a year since I've been here. I can't believe that. But I came in August. I was only supposed to be here for a month. I ended up loving it, so I extended my trip for 2 months. As you know, Thailand has a 60-day tourist visa, so I stayed for about like 57 days or something like that. And I decided before I left that I did not want to not live here. So I kind of joked around with my family about it, but they know me, and I've always been someone who wants to move and live internationally. So Thailand is not my last stop. Thailand is just the first of many stops. Once again, if you go back and look at my old videos from 2-3 years ago, I'm talking about living internationally, living abroad, being a nomad, being an expat. So none of this was like a random happenstance for me. I've literally been setting up my life to do this for years. Probably before I got laid off from my job during COVID, but definitely once I got laid off for sure. I already knew that I wasn't really going to want to be staying in the U.S. permanently long term just because I didn't agree with everything that was going on right now. And I know those things with the government changes. I know we have years that are better than others. And I don't have any intention on abandoning the U.S. as an entity. I'm not one of those I hate the U.S. people, right? I just want to explore the world. And the only way for me to explore the world is to leave the U.S., right? And I also know that being immersed in a culture is completely different than vacationing there. And I don't have no job. So there's nothing stopping me from going somewhere for a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 10 weeks or 20 weeks. So why not? Why am I staying in California? To pay more expensive rent to wish that I was in Thailand? It doesn't make sense, right? Ever since I moved to Thailand, I have not wished I was in California. So I feel like this was the better option And once again, Thailand is not the end all be all. I do not have this big long-term goal to live in Thailand for forever. My goal was to travel the world and be a nomad, to be an expat. So that is what I do. That is how my businesses were set up. That's literally what my life was planned around. The ability for me to make money from anywhere, any state, any country, any time of day, as long as I got my phone and my laptop. Quick fact, just in case you didn't know, and I know I'm getting sidetracked, but I am going to go back and forth between stuff in the video because there's probably going to be some important things like this thing right here. If y'all didn't know, hey, dance break, that the sinks in Thailand do not have hot water. And I confirmed this with somebody else's apartment. Now, my one friend, her apartment does, but my other friends, their apartment does not have hot water in the sink. Supposedly, I put a post up about it on Threads, and supposedly the Thai people said it's because their food isn't as greasy. But baby, I don't even understand that. I need hot water. That's like not cleaning my butt with I don't understand. So as y'all can see here, I'm boiling the water, because we gonna get some hot water for these dishes. Okay, I don't know about everybody else. I don't know how everybody else clean those dishes, but we is boiling water around these parts for the dishes. Okay, so that's what this hot water is for. I'm gonna eventually make some palo azul also with the hot water, but the first set of hot water is gonna go towards these dishes. Also, I do not like these flat top stoves. I do not. I feel like they just gonna blow up because the glass so hot. That's all y'all get, because they gonna flag my video. But yes, okay. So, I know a lot of people have a bunch of different reasons for why they moved here. But once again, mine was just more of like a life plan to be an expat and a nomad before I like settled down and bought the house and had all the kids and all the things. Like, I want to see the world before that starts, right? So that whenever my partner comes into the category and I'm like, my man, he already got his passport because we both out of the country, right? We already checking off boxes. He already is well traveled. He already gonna be with the ish, you know what I'm saying, about having our children be well traveled as well, because he not gonna want to stop. So I feel like it's just gonna bring me a different caliber and energy of partners. So I am totally with that. I am open to love. That is something new that I have been grappling with, because before I was like, oh no, I'm too busy, I'm on the grind, I need to be focused about my business. And even though that is still true, I am open, to whatever, the universe wants to bring me. If God want to bring me a man in Thailand, I am open, okay? But in the meantime, I'm just going to clean my house and enjoy this view. Look at the sky, y'all. The sky looks so beautiful. I know I'm a little dark here, but I just felt like it was just such a good angle and view of, like, my view from my apartment. I'm pretty high up, so I feel like my view is pretty good. I get a pretty good view, which I'm very, very, very grateful for. That was kind of one of my requirements, so God looked out, okay, like he always do. And we're not gonna play like this tripod and phone just magically got upstairs. I went back downstairs and got it. And I know my room looks a mess, but these are all clean clothes. I wash clothes like every couple days, so there's always clean clothes everywhere. A lot of people decide that they want to hang them outside, which is cool. They probably get drier a lot quicker outside, but I have allergies and I don't want all of that dust and pollen or whatever, the bleep be in the air, because if you look like on the patio, like after a couple days, after you just swept out there or mopped out there, it's just dust and dirt, so that's, I feel like in my head, that's what accumulates on your clothes. And like I said, I got allergies, so I don't have time for that. So I actually hang all of my clothes in my apartment and I dry them inside. So once they are done drying, I throw them all on my bed like this, and that's just how I like fold them up. before I put them away. I love my little vanity closet thing. It's so cute. I don't know if y'all can see over here on the left the little lighting that they have on the inside of there. So the lights cut on when I open the door, which I love. Cute little vanity. They did a really good job with the space in the vanity. But yeah, so I am in Thailand for a good time, not a long time. Part of my journey is spiritual healing and spiritual alignment and just like growth. I think a lot of times people don't really take the time to look at themselves and evaluate themselves to completion. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be perfect, but what I am saying is that I want to be able to acknowledge all the things that I'm doing wrong when people bring them to my attention without being defensive. Right? I think a lot of people's first reaction is to be defensive and get mad at you because you brought up something that you didn't like. And I don't want to be that person. And I also don't want to be the person that just doesn't see what you see. Right? Regardless of whether I agree with you, I should be able to see what you see. And if I care about you, then we should be able to work it out and do something different. So I am just here, working on my little attitude, getting my stuff together. Taking each day by day, cool with whatever God has in store for me. Look, He know my heart, okay? He made me. I am made in Him. So He already know who I am. I can't hide it from Him if I wanted to. So we just gonna go ahead and embrace it. But yeah, so I am a business coach. I am a travel agency owner. I am a photographer. I am an AI teacher. I am so many things. But those are just a few of the ways that I make money and sustain myself here in Thailand. I also have planners and ebooks and guides that I write. I have a blog that I write. I also am on social media as well, so you can follow me at Melanated Travel Bae on YouTube, of course, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, anywhere where I'm somewhere, Facebook, Melanated Travel Bae, on all of the platforms. But yeah. Oh, and I do influencing, I guess, but I don't really call it influencing because I'm not here to influence. I'm really here to educate. But I do have like brand deals and stuff that I do with hotels and resorts and different people in the travel industry. Just want to be able to give my clients more information and details on certain things, and then also hopefully aid in the education of different people and cultures about Black people and our culture, right? Because we don't have the same culture as African culture, Caribbean culture, and here in Thailand, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there is a large African population, and I'm using the term African versus the country because I don't know what country in Africa all of these people come from. But there is a large group of them that come here. Unfortunately, I think some of them are trafficked, but there's a large number of them that come here. So, yeah, I am here to help everybody. Most of my clients are not living in Thailand right now. Most of my clients are people who want to leave their job. My clients are people who want to keep their job but just want additional income. My clients are people who want more freedom. They want more time away from their job or away from work. My clients are people who currently do something for somebody else's job, but they want to do that same thing for themselves, right? Like as a consultant or a freelancer. And these are like anywhere from nurses, doctors, therapists, CEOs, like people who are like CEOs of like other people's company. And they're like, well, if I'm running somebody else's company, that absolutely means I can run my own. Yes, That is absolutely exactly what that means. And I try to tell people, like, if there's anything that you're doing for somebody else's business, 9 times out of 10, you could do it for yourself. Now, I get that everybody's not meant to run a business, right? If everybody owned a business, then that means we wouldn't have anybody working the businesses. So I understand that everybody's not a business owner, but that does not mean that just because you don't want to be a business owner, that there aren't other ways that you can't make income. So that's really what I do. I really teach people how they can make income off of skills that they already have, things that they already know, or maybe like products that they already have around their house that other people will want to make, right? Buy. So I had this person, and her daughter used to be a cheerleader, so she got a Cricut, and she had a whole bunch of vinyl and stuff, and cups and hoodies and all of this stuff that she had just bought. Well, now her daughter has graduated high school, and she still has all of this stuff for the Cricut, for the cheerleading squad or whatever. So I told her, like, use what you have and just start making customized stuff for people with that. So she just started making a couple of things. She started off with like football stuff because it was football season, and different stuff for different like sororities and different universities, and she would just post it, and the people who were affiliated would want to buy it. So it really just worked out. She was able to get rid of all of the stuff that she had, which normally would have been just money wasted, right? Or she would have donated it or gave it away. It ended up being inventory, which means it was a tax write-off, right? And she ended up being able to make money off of it. So it was like a triple win in the end. So sometimes you just need somebody to help you figure out what's the best way to go about things, to really see what's best for you. But that's how I make my programs unique, right? I didn't tell her, okay, well, let's do t-shirts because she'd already done t-shirts. Maybe that's not the best idea, right? Maybe t-shirts are too time consuming. Remember, there are other things that she can do that is less time consuming. So that's really what we work on. Everybody does not and will not and should not have the same business or business idea or business concept, right? So that's kind of the theory in which I work. I make sure that whatever you and I align is going to work for you and your schedule and your family. Because just because you have a husband and 2 kids and somebody else has a husband and 2 kids does not mean that you guys are both going to be successful at the same business, right? Maybe one of you is an accountant and the other one is in IT. You guys have 2 different skill sets, right? So your businesses should be 2 different things, right? Maybe one of you has children who are in the home and the other one has kids who are in college. Your time is set up differently. Your children require different things of you. Therefore, you should have different businesses. These are all things that we take into consideration. So I'm not like these other people, right? We're going to do it very different, very demure, very mindful. I really want my clients to succeed. So yeah, that's what I do in Thailand. I am 30 somethings. Okay, I'll leave that up to you to guess. The other day I went on an adventure, and this man said, let me guess, you like 27, right? And I was like, okay, I'll take it, thanks. It's definitely been quite a few years since I've been 27, but I'm very grateful to still remotely look 27. But I think when you do stuff like go away from your home and you're so far, I think you have to be very mindful to just remember the little things. Like, don't take those things. Don't take advantage of those things. Don't take them for granted, because they really can be taken from you at any point in time. So y'all remember earlier I said I was going to make some palo azul? Well, here we go. It's called palo azul because I don't know if y'all saw, but there were these little wood chips that I put in the water. Y'all can see them right there. That's the palo azul. Palo means wood from my simple understanding of Spanish. And azul means blue, so it's blue wood. So as you can see, I put wood chips in there, and then the water has this cute little blue hue tint to it. I am a health girly, so I have 75 million herbs and all of the things. Yeah, because I gotta stay healthy, especially like being internationally and eating all of this different food. Your body really has to get acclimated to the things. So yeah, gotta stay, you know what I'm saying? Stay keeping all the good stuff moving all up and through there. So as you can see, we have now migrated to the patio. On top of me being a herb girly, I am a spiritual girly. So I love all things health and wellness, as well as hoodoo and spirituality. I think there's a misconception that people who are spiritual and who do hoodoo aren't believers of God. If you know anything about hoodoo, you know it is literally based on the Bible. So there's that. But yes, so I have written some affirmations on these bay leaves. You can see what the affirmations say when I hold them up to the camera screen, but they all have a different affirmation on it. That's actually part of the reason I was cleaning the house. I wanted to do this outside just in case any schmut or whatever was a little messy, so it was perfect out. I'm sure you thought here that these were going to be my affirmations that I was going to be saying, but nope. I kind of normally say those inward if I feel like anybody's going to be listening or hearing it. But you know, there's always some affirmational rap music playing in the background, okay? If you grew up in a black household or a Caribbean household or a Haitian household or African household, it is normally very traditional to clean before you do anything that is cleansing or high vibrational. You're supposed to be bringing in good energy. So that's why you guys saw me cleaning just now before I did my ritual, because I wanted to make sure that all of the energy in the home was high vibrational. It was cleansed. I also saged, which I did not end up showing on camera. Now I'm just realizing that. I also mopped, which I did not show on camera because I didn't really know how to move the tripod as well as moving the mop. Okay, dance break. But yeah, point is, I wanted to do that before I did my bay leaves. So I got like a big pack of bay leaves. My family actually sent them to me. I tried to tell them to pick a pack that was like whole bay leaves because you want to be able to write on them. So yep, we're just going to be doing this, getting some good energy. Of course, me possibly burning something is always a possibility, but we did it. You know what I'm saying? I had a candle out here with me because I wanted to like put them all inside of the candle just off of GP, just in case, to make sure that they are finished burning. I also wanted to turn the camera around because even though the lighting is not great on me this way, it's a lot better for the angle of me standing with the wind. That's kind of what the issue is. This little cubby where my patio is, it kind of entraps the wind, so it's not there and it's there all at the same time. Anyway, the view behind me is gorgeous, even though it's a little cloudy. So yep, so this is how I am starting my day today. Cleaning is a normal way I would start the day. The additional like cleansing ritual is just something new, not new, but something different. So I figured I would share that with you guys. That's part of my journey here. It is a spiritual journey for me. I am growing, I am learning. So anything ideally that I've done in the past that I felt like is no longer serving me, I'm ideally changing it, right? So whatever version of Derica you knew before, she's dead. And of course, I don't mean that in the literal sense, right? All of the things that are signature me at heart are still the same, right? But if it's not a personality trait, if it's like a want or a like or a dislike or a preference. All of those things have changed. How I feel about certain topics have completely changed. So if you've ever recorded me or talked to me about something in the past, you can almost assume that my response about it is going to be the exact opposite, right? Because that old version of me is just gone. She does not exist anymore. And I am very happy for that, because she was a getting her feelings hurt little mofo. And I'm a Cancer. Like, my birthday's in July. I just actually celebrated my birthday. Okay, Cancer gang, but yeah, I'm emotional, and I wear my heart on my sleeves, and all of my emotions are 100% authentic and true, right? So the only way you guys are going to ever see me show up on this page is authentically. So if you like authentic content, you want to see how regular people travel, right? Then I hope you can subscribe. I hope you like. I hope you share. I hope you tell a friend to tell a friend, because that's me. I also wanted to take this opportunity to, I know I did not dig up my butt just then. I put my key card in my back pocket. But I wanted to take this opportunity to just answer a couple questions that I get often. The number one question I feel like I always get is like, how do you support your travel? And I actually did a video on this, basically just giving like all of the tips and tricks on how to save money on your travel, as well as how to get travel for the low, as well as like all of the little things that I do to kind of like get around, the things. But one that I would tell everybody is, if you don't have a travel credit card, get one. Get one right now, because the amount of free flights that I have got simply off of having points on my travel credit card is crazy. Now, mind you, I'm literally using the credit card for everything. So you literally just pay it off at the end of the week, no interest, and you was going to buy whatever that thing was anyway. And now you just got points from, that purchase. So it's really one of those things where it's a no-brainer to do. So that would be my biggest suggestion for everyone. And then also, if you have never solo traveled up into this point, I suggest you do it. Even if you just get on a train and go to like the closest little metropolitan area outside of your area, you don't even have to leave the state. Just go for maybe like 48 hours, like maybe Friday after work, come back Sunday. I think it's like one of those things that everybody really, really, really should do. It's such a freeing experience. So I would definitely suggest everybody to do it. Another question I get asked a lot is about like my job. So as y'all know, like I said earlier, I don't have a job. I'm a business owner. But my businesses were set up to be able to be ran like this. Every business is not set up for you to work it remotely, right? Which is why you really have to take into consideration what you want to do with the rest of your life and how that's going to look when you decide you're going to start a business or run a business, and it's always okay to pivot, but sometimes pivoting can be expensive. So to avoid that, I just tell people, set your business up from the beginning, or your additional streams of income, because they do not have to be businesses. That's another tip. Everybody thinks that the only way to travel is if you're a business owner, if you have a remote position. That's not true. I know mad people who are like vice presidents of companies or CEOs of companies, like companies that they don't own, that are gone for 2 weeks at a time, a month at a time. Like, I know doctors who are people who have jobs travel too. You just have to ask for what you want out of your job and negotiate your benefits. That's something I don't think people know either. You can negotiate your benefits, you guys. Like, ask and you shall receive type situation. So that's definitely a tip on how to travel more. And then one last thing that everybody asks me often is, how can they do it? And really, I'm not doing anything special that nobody else can do, right? You just have to really figure out what your passion is and how you can monetize off of your passion. that's really it. And if you guys are wondering how to do that, you need some help, you can always sign up for one of my free consultations. We can chat about whatever you are interested in doing, and I can definitely help you get closer to those goals as much as possible. I'm just a regular girl who's a business owner who's trying to do it all, work on her mental health, work on her spiritual health, work on herself, work on her growth, work on her businesses, make her family proud, all at the same time. So that's really what my channel overall is about. And I realized that I had just kind of came on here and started posting travel videos and didn't really tell any backstory, I guess, about me and who I am and where I came from. So I really just wanted to share that with you guys. I know this is a rather lengthy video, but I thought it was really important that you guys get to see just a little bit background about me, right? Living in Thailand is just not about doing a bunch of touristy stuff all day. I live here and do the same stuff that I did in California. The same exact stuff. So if that's something that you are interested in seeing and you want to see my journey, please stay. I hope that you all decide to comment, tell me what you want to see. But yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you for watching. My next video is dropping soon. Until then, bye.